Hey, this is Dalton Davis, and you're listening to Music Row.
Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leek.
Welcome back to the Music Row podcast. Thank you for the shares, the comments, the likes, and this is across all the social media platforms that are out there. It really means the world to us, and it's making a gigantic difference in the overall listenership as the numbers keep on going up and up. I saw it the other day. I was like, what? What's happening here? So thank you. I guess it's the guests. I guess it's the host. I guess it's the listeners. It's a community. On today's program, we welcome back Dalton Davis, who we've had on the program before. And if you haven't heard our earlier conversation, go check that out. Get a little more in tune with Dalton, but here's the short of it, the Coles Notes, so to speak. He's bringing a whole lot of real to the game. So he's from North Carolina and lived a life that really does sound like your roots country music songs. So we're talking riding bulls, singing in a gospel choir, getting adopted and touring with gospel musicians, and eventually chasing down his whole way into the country music scene. So he's opened up for some of the biggest names in music these days, but he's humble and chill and rides rodeo. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people who listen to this program know exactly what rodeo is. For myself, a guy who's lived in cities, big cities, rodeo seems like an amazing way to break your neck. Dalton Davis is on today's program. Get ready.
This program brought to you by the Tall Pines Music and Arts Festival. Hey, everyone, looking for the perfect summer weekend in Muskoka? Don't miss the Tall Pines Music and Arts Festival. Returning to the beautiful wharf in Gravenhurst, July 17 and 18. You got the backdrop of Lake Muskoka and a great lineup with more bands to be announced. Hawksley Workman, love that dude. That dude is such a good hang. Great artist, yes. Odds, here's something about Odds. Might be one of the tightest bands out there. Not to downplay anybody else's thing. The Tea Party, how many number ones have the Tea Party had? And then Paul Langlois of the Tragically Hip, he's going to be at the Tall Pines Music and Arts Festival, July 17 and 18, live art, local vendors, food trucks, a kids zone, and the backdrop and the lakeside vibes of Lake Muskoka. Get your tickets today, tallpinesfestival.com, and we'll see you there. I'm going.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Dalton Davis, and you're listening to Music Row with Leek.
You've been in Canada well beyond probably any of your wildest dreams when it comes to when you grew
100%.
When you grew up as a kid in North Carolina. There was probably never a thought of, oh yeah, I'll be hot lapping through Canada a few times a year and stuff like that.
We did a whole tour last fall with Cameron Marlowe, and we played in Montana and then drove up into Edmonton and then drove from Edmonton to Vancouver. And I was like, I can't believe I'm driving through what's crazy is as we're driving through the Canadian Rockies was the first time I heard my song on the radio. And we had downloaded the country station app from back home and listening to it as we're driving through Canada. I was like, what is life right now?
And boy, that is not an easy route from Montana up to Edmonton. That was probably
not in November either. That's a cold time to go.
Yeah, so whoever's doing your routing, maybe we should get management on the line and have a little conversation.
Well, listen, October to November, we're going to reverse it. This year, we're going with Owen, and we're going to go from the West Coast to the East Coast. So we're going to do it all over again.
Now, have you had much time with Owen yet? or you just kind of getting your feet wet right now?
So Owen and I share, one of my co-managers manages Owen. So we spent quite a little bit of time together, play some golf together, and we haven't got to play music per se yet together, but we've got to kick it a little bit. So excited to play some shows together.
So you understand the mannerisms of one another and what one's into.
Yeah, we know what we're getting ourselves into for sure.
Definitely a legit dude. I don't think he has any place on the back of a bull, but you guys can figure that out next fall, because that's a big tour. There's lots of dates, man.
It'll be a good time. I know it's prime hunting season too, so I already told him, I was like, listen, I'm flying with my bow out here, and I'm going to steal you away. We're going to go hunting on the way through.
What do you hunt for?
What's the season? I mean, Tuesday I killed a turkey, first turkey of the season, so it depends on what the season is. But come October, we'll be whitetail hunting for sure.
And do you have a special like prep kind of dish that you're doing with each of these things? Like, do you have it in mind? Oh man, I wish we had more venison.
Yeah, if I'm
running low.
If we knock down a big whitetail, my favorite meal in the world is chicken fried backstrap. You gut them out and you skin them, cut that backstrap off, and throw it in some flour and some egg, and
that is
fry
such a Southern thing
with a little bit of gravy on there too. Woo!
But I'm saying it's such a Southern thing because every food that most people don't eat in the South just starts off with fry.
Yeah, and then
you're good to go.
Oh yeah. Fried chicken livers and chicken gizzards and all kinds of it.
Gator.
Oh, yeah.
You just go on and on and on.
We did a writer's retreat for the record in Dixie County, Florida, which is kind of like northern Florida, close to the Panhandle, and we were eating fried gator the whole time, and it was amazing.
When you say you said writer's retreat, not riders.
Yeah, riders.
Because we got to be careful with that too, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you still hanging around with the riders.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Well.
I actually just got back from Oklahoma. We did me and a good buddy of mine, Augie Lurch, we went from Tucson, Arizona. We loaded up a trailer full of horses and cows and drove them to Mountain Park, Oklahoma, which is about 1,400 miles, and delivered them there. And then we spent that next day catching wild cows. So we were having a good time.
Okay. Now, when I understand this, that when you're moving livestock in the U.S. especially, you have to have like a firearm with you.
Oh, yeah.
Because if things get weird, like say you, for whatever reason, you get into an accident, you basically have to do a humane thing and put an animal down should they get into an incident, right?
Augie just had a incident. So I just officiated a wedding in Fort Worth, Texas last weekend for
there's so much more to talk about. This is good. I don't, it's catching up with you. It's like the ongoing history of Dalton Davis. I love it.
But we just did a wedding for some folks down there, and Augie was wrangling some bulls for them so that they could be at the wedding, and they had a bull.
Jesus, this is the most Southern thing.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry,
cowboy for sure.
Yeah, we're having a wedding, so we're gonna need. What do we need? Well, what about catering? We
need some cowboys to wrangle these bulls.
Cowboys, bulls. Let's roll.
Yeah, we did the wedding in the arena at the rodeo arena after the rodeo that day, but he had to put a bull down that had put his hoof through a chute and broke it, and it's a sad way to put out a $15,000 bull.
And it's just something that happens.
Part of the game.
Yeah. How many people have you wed in your years? Like,
probably 10, 12 or so.
Do you gotta like update your pastor certificate or something like that? Like, it's like your CPR training.
Yeah, it's your ordination. And I did update my ordination so that we could be ready to go. So, because we did the wedding in Texas, so I'd never done one there. So I wanted to make sure I was above board with everything.
Oh, right. It's like boxing. You're either blessed by the Nevada State Boxing Commission or you're not fighting in Vegas that night.
100%.
I would say this is why I ask these questions. You're just a wealth of knowledge.
I don't know about that.
I bet you're going back to North Carolina, and you're sitting with friends that you grew up with and stuff like that, and you're kind of looking at them and going, well, I've been to Canada. Let me tell you some things.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of the buddies. I don't get to visit home too much, but I got to go to North Carolina a couple weeks ago for a family reunion, and it was cool to be with everybody. But, I can tell them, hey, I've been to Canada. Most of them served in the military, so they're like, yeah, well, I've been everywhere in all these other places. And so it's kind of a cool little moment.
Good on you, Dalton. Can you point out Tehran on a map?
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Because the wrong number. So there's new music that gets recorded also in the past year. And
absolutely.
You found some time to do that. And let me just say that to release Blue after Redneck is perfect.
It's a power statement.
It without question is. It's so easy to have something pop off and then a label or a manager says, let's keep on going with that rhythm, same as it ever was. And you did a complete 180 and went the other direction with something that was really heartfelt.
Old school country. I think we were intentional with that. We, Cows and Redneck are two songs that we love. We play them every night. We stand by them. But I don't necessarily say that represents my entire artistry.
I'm not saying though it's a takeaway from those songs.
Oh, yeah.
I just love the release of it.
I think
for impact.
We like to describe everything as like a baseball field, where it's like this side of my music is left field and this is right field and this is center field, and we kind of do everything between. So Redneck and Cows hit that left field, and I think Blue hits maybe in the middle or maybe to the right, and then it kind of just pairs out a little bit more. It just kind of broadens out the spectrum of what we are as an artist. It
also sounds a little bit like we're reviewing the upcoming election. This is mainly your blue states, and this will be represented by the Reds. What is your summer looking like for Dalton Davis?
We're going to be rocking and rolling. We got band shows. So we'd play the Luke Combs Tailgate show next weekend in Ohio. And that kind of kicks off our summer. And we're just kind of...
Isn't that crazy how big someone like Luke Combs is?
I'm just glad I don't have to sing on stage with him, because that is one of the best singers alive.
Without question. And he has a great stage presence without being that...
He's just cool.
But he doesn't have that Keith Urban, I'm going to run down, the catwalk of this. Well, for various reasons, I don't think he's run very much, and I love Luke Combs.
Hey, shout out to Luke Combs. He's a former rugby player at Appalachia State. Go Boonies. Go Mountaineers.
Listen to this. Have you ever seen him chug a beer?
I have seen him chug a beer.
Like that's an
Olympic sport.
He should be studied in laboratories as to why this is happening. I can't even pour beer out
as fast as he can drink
fast as he can drink it. It is the most incredible thing. That's right. So you've got all those stadium dates that are coming up too, like playing the tailgates. And
so we're actually just doing one. We're just doing the Ohio one. They kind of split it up for a bunch of opening acts. So we'll do that, and then we're kind of rock and rolling, getting ready. We got the Rock the Country coming up this fall. This summer, a couple of those, and doing a Braxton Keith dates and PBR shows, and then we'll do the Owen tour in the fall.
Is Nashville feeling more home and maybe making someone like Dalton calm down a little bit more?
I don't know that Nashville will ever make me want to calm down. But I just moved outside of Nashville to Franklin to a little startup horse farm, and that's definitely helping me calm down a little bit, so that when I do come off the road, I'm not going where I was at before. I could see downtown from my house, and it's hard to avoid the trouble of that when you can see it. And you're like, well, I don't got something better to do. I'll just walk down there. Well, now it's like I'm out in the sticks, and it's quiet and helps me calm down a little bit for sure.
Yeah, there's no question. If you can smell downtown from Nashville,
it's over.
It's kind of like the bat signal has gone up, and well, it's time for me to go report in at
100%
bar 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
I usually start at Roberts and make my way down from there.
I have friends in Franklin, and for you to say, yeah, it's a little bit more tame and stuff like that, all he says is, we got to come to Franklin. We got so many whiskey and so many bourbon bars and all that stuff.
So I'm outside of city limits, kind of out in the sticks a little bit. So we're not as much involved with all that for sure.
But you don't need to be right downtown in Nashville, especially for something that you're doing, because you probably got an easier commute to get to that airport when it's time to jet out.
Sometimes, depending. We flew to Napa Valley the other day, and it took us an hour and a half to get to the airport from the house. When it's like a 30-minute drive, there was just a wreck on the interstate, and it was over after that.
The problem with maybe some of these states that I've recognized over the years is there's some vehicles on the road
that shouldn't be there.
Should not be.
Welcome
on
to the
road.
South. I think I have a couple of those vehicles in my yard right now.
That's the nice thing about the colder climates in your Minnesotas and North Dakotas, and that they put so much salt on the road that it eats the cars and it makes them just erode. So you can't take them for 40 years. They'll just be gone.
Right.
But yeah, I've seen some Chrysler K cars on the road that are from 1982 that are just like, whoa.
Listen, I drive a 1997 pickup every day, so I understand.
Is it a pickup that you take on the field with you?
Oh yeah, we just played a show in I think Lexington, Kentucky. We're just 4 or 5 hours from the house, and I was like, instead of loading up, I was like, it was just a trio. So I said, boys, just get in the pickup, and loaded all our gear in the bed and just drove up to the show. So
is this a bench seat pickup or
bench in the front and back? So we got it's a 97 F350. So we got 6 seats in there, plenty of space.
Dude, why do you need a 350? Does it have like
for hauling horses?
I was just going to say, like, this is going to be pulling the trailer with the horses.
100%.
Yeah, because an F350 is a little bit more truck than you'll see in any metro area.
Yeah, I'm ready to pull the house down at any given time. That's for sure.
I love it. And a bench seat, you're just way ahead of the game.
Got to.
You know, no change falls in between the seats when you got a bench.
No, and if you had too many drinks that night and you're like, I shouldn't drive home, you got a bed right there.
That's so perfect. A bed and a bed, because you still have the truck bed.
Exactly. And I got the long bed too, so you got plenty of room back there.
What's the one thing that you never get over being around all these artists in Nashville today compared to when you were doing writing and releasing stuff in northern, in the Carolinas and Georgia and stuff like that? What are you noticing more today?
I think I'll never get over the fact that I'm still a fan and excited about being in the industry. We played a show with Josh Ross and John Party in Kentucky the other night, and I was standing backstage watching John Party play, and I was talking to a guy, Jake, who plays in the band with us, and I was like, man, isn't it crazy that when we were in college that we were driving around campus listening to Dirt on My Boots and like talking about how this was a cool song, and now we're sharing the stage with this guy. So I think that aspect of it will never get over it for me. You know, we played the CRS show at Ryman the other week, and it was on the same bill as Vince Gill, and you're like, how is this even real, you know?
Did Vince show up where he parks in the back and he's just got his Stratocaster in a soft bag? Like, he looks like he just basically got off the bus. Every time that I've seen him walking around the Ryman, I was like, are you busking? Like, what is happening?
He's got to be the most nonchalant legend of all time.
Without question. And can play every song, even if he hasn't heard the song.
100%.
Like, he can play your whole album tomorrow
better than I can.
But I'm just saying, if you hummed a little bit of the bars to it, he goes, yeah, I think I can figure this out.
100%.
How much does that influence you into when you see these artists and they, you know, not only are they legends, but they're really good. So how much does that influence you to like kind of stay on the track and work a little bit harder?
I mean, I think it's definitely every single day. It's one of those things where, you know, I think there's plenty of cats in Nashville who can outplay and sing me. I think our thing has been working hard. That's got us to where we are. And then when you see guys like Vince or Brad Paisley or those guys get up there and do what they do, you're like, okay, well, that mentality that I have, I'm going to stay on that, and I better just work that much harder because glory falls out of them when they play and sing, you know?
Yeah, they're just chill. I think it's being flexible.
100%.
Where, you know, just water off a duck's back. You just go with the flow and know that things, even when they get weird, it's not that weird.
It'll be all right.
Not going to be that big of a deal. And I think John Party's kind of like one of those guys too, right? Did you have any conversations with John when you were just playing with him?
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit. We didn't get to play talk too much that night. It was funny though. I saw them all getting in their tour bus, and so like I said, I have that big diesel, and so I made sure and drive up right beside the tour bus and give them a little rev, so they all would come out and wave. But we've got to talk a couple times.
Feel the inside of the cabin. Of the
roll coal a little
bus.
bit, you know.
No, I mean I think that's something that country music does so much better than other genres, is they're willing to help another artist, willing to propel, to push forward another country artist.
100%.
Where not many genres, or there's a lot of other genres that are very far behind that. Are you still running music before your hip hop friends?
100%. Oh, I'll never get past that, because that's the ultimate, hey, does this work or does this not work kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because it's great that you have that group, because not everybody has real good ears that can give you kind of sound advice. Like, parents do wonderful things, but
they're going to tell you it's good no matter what.
Yeah, they get a little too excited when Dalton releases a song, you know, and any kid releases a song. And I get it. It's cool, but it doesn't mean the song is
the best.
Good,
yeah, 100%.
Right? I mean, if you and I can just put out anything tomorrow and put it on a digital service provider, that should be just stop right there. Don't move any further. It's not the move. So how much music do you take to these guys? Are they from Georgia, these guys?
They're kind of from all over. A lot of them are from Chattanooga area, some from back home in North Carolina, and a lot of them are in Los Angeles as well. So you just send them like MP3s or whatever, say this is a finished. Do you go with a finished product, or
this is something I'm demoing. Should I finish the project?
I think both. And the beauty of a lot of it, the guys that I can use as a sounding board, they're also artists, so they understand. This is a demo, and they can hear what it could be. But I think it depends. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna. These are my songs I finished. Which ones do you think is like the hit? Or I'll send them songs. It's like, hey, I don't know. This is a weird thing, but I really think this could be something. How does this translate to you? And kind of use them as a sounding board in both ends.
So then, what happens after that? Do you then take those notes and go into a write with another group of people to say, hey, I got this idea. I'm 3/4 of the way there with this song. Can we get it past the goal line? Or do you just kind of try to finish it off yourself and worry about a song write with something completely new?
Well, I feel like a lot of times when I'm having those conversations, it's more about the production or like the overall sound and less about the songwriting, and try to keep that as close to us or the guys that we're writing with, and just keep it, true to the songwrite. And then we take the production side and see how that translates. And sometimes it's just like, hey, I don't get what's going on. It's not worth diving in any more further.
Right. You just got to hit the brakes.
Just go
and
to the
move
next
on.
100%.
Maybe we can use some parts of this song and
for another song.
That's something I think more people should do, is try to use some parts from songs as opposed to having 400 kind of empty cavity songs that are kind of there, but they just leave them to die. It's like there might be one lyric in there that could be used. Because I heard a song recently, I'm like, that's a terrible lyric. That lyric should not be in this song. And the band and the artist as well, but I would have worked that. And I don't speak well, yet I thought that was a bad lyric. What about timeless music? Is that something that you're cognizant of, where you can date yourself real fast with a song? If you say, yeah, I called you on my flip phone,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it kind of shows what era we're in, right?
I try to avoid, any of those things as best I can. Now, there are some times when the song does call for that and we do it, but I think blues is a perfect example of that. Is like, the B3s and the sounds that we went for and chased down. We did a lot of stuff at Muscle Shoals with that. And it's like, okay, let's get that old school feeling and sing it like it's a new song and it's about our new feelings, but it's like, my grandpa could listen to this or my grandkid could listen to this and it'll translate to either one of them,
Well, and that's why I said off the top, for you guys to come with that song right after Redneck, I thought it was such a real good song to write and to release. Would you say it's 100% you or 100% feelings?
So I actually didn't write Blue. It's the first outside cut that I've done. Some good buddies of mine, Dawson Slade, John O'Clayton, and Rob Williford wrote that. And, shout out to Dawson. Dawson was 17, raising a 1-year-old son, working 40 hours a week by himself in a chicken farm in Alabama when they wrote that song. And I was just like, man, this is mature well beyond your years, the songs that you're writing. And it kind of just sat in the vault for a couple years. And then when it got time for me to cut my record, I called him and I was like, hey, what are you going to do with this tune? He's like, I don't know. It's never really made sense for me to do anything else with it. I was like, can I record it? And he did. And we were finished and cut it before he changed his mind, But it's kind of hard to speak on where his writing is of it or where he wrote it from. But I think for me, it's like, it's not very difficult to have gone through some of the things I've gone through in life and to think about the losing aspect of that song, or like how hard it is to let some, chapters of your life go, and easy to tap into that when I'm singing that song.
Well, you're right. It is something that I think a lot of people can apply to their own lives and their own histories. Just, the changes that you're going to go through.
100%.
And there's going to be challenges along the way. And if you're working in a chicken farm, there's a lot of challenges. One being odor.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's wrap with this. When was the last time you were on a bull?
I think last time I was on a bull was the fall of 2024, I believe. And
was this an actual event that you were at, or did you just see a bull as you were driving down the road and you're like, watch this, fellas?
So we were, our song Sit Crooked, we were doing a little partnership with a rodeo, and I'd heard through the grapevine that some of the executives might not have believed the cowboy side of my story. And so I left that meeting. I was like, well, we're going to remind you what it is. And so I called some buddies of mine. Shout out to Wicked Rodeo Company in Russellville, Alabama. And
I can't believe this.
Yeah, I called them and I said, hey, let's put on a rodeo this weekend. And we went down and we rode on some bulls, got some of my buddies who'd never been on before. We all jumped on and rode for the weekend. And sent him a video and said, hey, this is what we do.
Did you, with your friends, like, do you have to sign like a waiver and that, or do the people who, when you're riding bulls like that in that group, you go, you rode a bull, you're on your own at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't come after anybody.
Yeah, we you know what you're getting yourself into, and I wouldn't take some guys down to that rodeo company that I thought might, if they got hurt, they would do something. We all knew what we were getting ourselves into, but also like, we had Austin and Dixie Odom and a bunch of the squad like all in their ring with us. So for me, they just kind of
like real pros, like guys, people that know what they're doing,
right?
How to get you out of the situation.
They just kind of left me figure it out on my own because they're like, he'll figure it out. But all the rest of the buddies, they're like, they all kind of, as soon as they fell off, they jumped up and pulled them off. So,
did you see the viral meme or the video of the guy who was riding a Bronco and he got tossed, gets up, he's celebratory and all that stuff.
He cut the backflip off the fence.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you know that guy? I
don't know him personally, but I follow him on social media. He's actually an incredible rider. So shout out to him. He's a gnarly cowboy.
So did you take a mental note next time if you ride anything? It's not over until you are out of that ring.
Well, I'm trying to move my way into the cutting world since it's a lot less aggressive in that world. So
hang on, what is that?
You're cutting horses. You know anything about that?
No.
It's like
dude, what are you talking? Why? I grew up in the city. We don't even get the Cowboy Channel.
I did the takeover for the Cowboy Channel in the fall, but
and I just made that up. I didn't even know there was a Cowboy Channel.
There is a Cowboy Channel. Shout out to the Cowboy Channel. But the horse cutting, you got 2 minutes 30 seconds. You're in a pen. It's like half of an arena. You're in there with a couple turnback guys who are guys on horses to kind of keep the calves back, and you have a pen full of calves, and you're going in. You separate one off, and you're basically, it's called cutting. And so this horse will come, or the cow will try to come back to the herd, and you're cutting it off of the herd. And so you ever seen like the horse that looks like it's kind of jousting back and forth, and they're like staying in the cow's bubble of the eye, and that's horse cutting.
That sounds 1,000% safer than all the other cowboy activities you have participated in.
Definitely safer. It is not easy by no means.
I grew up
riding my whole life, and I went out to Oklahoma a couple weeks ago, and they were like, we're going to teach you how to cut. And imagine you're doing all of that, and you're not allowed to use your hands. So when you're cutting that cow, your hands are holding on to the bottom down here, and you're not allowed to pick them up. So you have to teach that horse to listen to you just off of your feet, which is, you're at full speed, a very difficult thing to do.
You and the horse have to be intuitive with and connected with one another, channeling 100%. Each other's vibes.
And that horse has to want to do its job for sure.
Dalton, so good to see you.
You as well.
I never want to go out riding with you because, well, let's just leave it at that. Anything else though? We can go have a beer anytime. How's that?
Deal.
And something fried.
Some fried Oreos.
Do it.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.